Building on the last video, scarcity of resources, we're now going to talk about choice and opportunity cost. I'm going in this direction as this topic will feed into strategic advantages from an economics viewpoint. As you can probably tell, macroeconomics pretty much ties directly in with the strategic planning process. With that being said, let's get going on choice and opportunity cost. What do we mean when we talk about the cost of something? Isn't it what we must give up to get that thing? Meaning you have $100 and you trade it for a pair of shoes. The opportunity cost of the chosen item or activity is the value of the best alternative that is foregone. You can think of opportunity cost as opportunity lost. Sometimes opportunity cost can be measured in terms of money, although it isn't necessarily fully true. Money is only part of the equation. Now, how many times have one of your friends or even you said, "I did such and such because I had nothing better to do"? What they actually mean is they or you had something else going on. Yet, according to the idea of opportunity cost, people always do what they do because they have nothing better to do. The choice selected seems, at the time, preferable to any other possible alternative. Like the saying goes, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Opportunity cost is subjective. Only the individual making the choice can identify the most attractive alternative. But the chooser seldom knows the actual value of the best alternative foregone, because that alternative is the road not taken. For instance, let's say you give up a night of margaritas and tacos with friends to work on a project for work or an assignment for class. You will never know what you gave up. You only know what you expected. Evidently, you expected the value of the best alternative. So how do you calculate opportunity cost? Well, it requires time and information. See, we assume that people rationally choose the most valued alternative. This does not mean exhaustively assessing the value of all possibilities, except when you're using opportunity cost to make decisions about projects in the workplace, which of course are investments, but we'll get to that another time. Essentially, you assess alternatives as long as the expected marginal benefit of or to gather more information about your options exceeds the expected marginal value or cost. If you don't remember this concept, go back and watch the previous video. In other words, you do the best you can for yourself. Time. Now, this is the ultimate constraint. There's only 24 hours in a day and 365 days in a year. It doesn't matter how much money or resources you have, you can't extend the clock or add days to a calendar. Even if you could buy anything you wanted, you would lack time to enjoy your stuff. If you enjoy one activity, you cannot do something else. Therefore, each activity you choose involves an opportunity cost. Consequently, you must choose from among the competing uses of your scarcest resource, time. Now, opportunity cost depends on your alternatives. This is why you are more likely to say, study on a Tuesday night rather than a Saturday night. On Tuesday night, the opportunity cost of studying is lower because your alternatives are less attractive than on Saturday night when you have more going on. So let's say you choose to go on a date to the movies on a Saturday. Your opportunity cost is the value of your best alternative foregone, which might be going to the gym. For some of you, working out late on a Saturday night may be well down the list of alternatives, perhaps ahead of reorganizing your closet but ahead of doing laundry. Opportunity cost is subjective, but in some cases, money paid for goods and services is a reasonable approximation. For example, the opportunity cost of a new DVD player is the value of spending, let's say, $100 on the best foregone alternative. The money measure may leave out some important elements, however, particularly the value of the time involved. For example, renting a movie might cost you just $1 from Redbox, but it doesn't include the time and travel required to get it, watch it, and return it. Now, sunk cost and choice. So let's say you went grocery shopping in Walmart Now, anyone that has ever been to a Walmart knows they have a million registers, but when it's busy, they only have 3 cashiers for the 100 people checking out at the exact same time. So you're wheeling your cart around. How do you decide which line to get in? Well, I guess that's pretty easy. We pick the shortest one. But after you go there for about 15 minutes, magically out of nowhere, an employee shows up and opens up another register and invites you to check out. Do you switch to that open cashier? Or do you think, since I've already spent 15 minutes here, I'm staying put? The 15 minutes you wasted represents the sunk cost, which is a cost that has already been incurred and cannot be recovered, regardless of what you do next. When making an economic decision, always ignore the sunk cost. Why is that? Because economic decision makers, which you are, should only consider those costs that are affected by the choice. Sunk costs have already been incurred and are not affected by the choice, so they are irrelevant. Likewise, if you go to a bad movie, you should just get up and walk out. Why? Because you already wasted the $10 and you aren't getting it back, whereas sitting through a sorry movie will only make you worse off.